their doors open, there is security. So I must say they take pride in their security. And I see why, because when I would, be up late night and I'm looking out at the security, they don't go to sleep like the American security guards that I've seen go. I've worked as a security guard and I fell asleep. So they take pride in their work, and it makes people feel secure, obviously, enough to sleep with their doors open. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss the things that are unusual here in Tanzania. Coming from the West, there's a lot of things that are like a culture shock for me. So I just wanted to discuss these things because I didn't see a video like explaining everything that was unusual to people coming from the West. So I'm going to go over 10 unusual things that I have recognized here in Tanzania. Number one, the biggest unusual thing for me is the no car seat laws. Like, I don't remember growing up in Jamaica, but I do know that there's no car seat laws there either. And it's no car seat laws here. So when I came here, I had my car seat. Eventually I had to store it because I just looked crazy, and it was no need for it, because here, when you hear this coming from the West, it's like, oh no, that's crazy, no car seat, what? I would never put my kid in a car without no car seat. And I mean, if you feel like bringing a car seat, that's cool, go ahead and bring a car seat, but I'm telling you guys, there's no need for it here because they don't drive fast. The most I've seen, the fastest I've seen people drive is like maybe 50 miles per hour, because there's so much traffic that no one drives fast. And there's another reason why people don't drive fast, which I'll get into in another later on. So yeah, there's no car seat laws. I brought my car seat. When I brought my car seat here, I was like, I'm still going to use it because I just want to be a responsible mother. But as we spent more time here in Tanzania, I quickly discovered I really don't need this car seat because, like I said, the people do not drive quickly, and most of the time we're riding in a bajaji. And the bajajis, they don't drive fast here, y'all. It's no need. People are not like dangerous drivers out here. I haven't seen one accident, and I've been out here 4 months. I've heard of one, and the person didn't die. They weren't even injured. They just drove off the road a little bit. But yeah, things are much slower here, much slower pace. It's not like America where there's rush hour and there's drunk drivers and things like that. They do have people who can be alcoholics here as well. But I think if accidents do happen here, it's probably at a time that I'm not even up, which is late night. I would assume when people go out and start drinking, and that's always a risk anywhere you are. But during the day, there's no need for a car seat. But if you feel like bringing yours, go ahead and bring it. But I'm telling you guys, it's going to be, probably stored after a while once you see how the environment is here. So that's number one, no car seat laws. That's very unusual for me coming from the West. Number two, I probably shouldn't tell y'all this because it'll probably attract criminals to the country, but most people don't sleep with their doors locked. Now, some people do, but for the most part, most of the Airbnbs I've stayed at, they don't sleep with their doors locked, and like it just stays open and people just walk in and out. And I guess part of that has to do with the crime here. It's not much crime here, so it's really no need to lock your doors. In the security, most of the places that I have stayed where they do have their doors open, there is security. So I must say they take pride in their security, and I see why, because when I would be up late night and I'm looking out at the security. They don't go to sleep like the American security guards that I've seen go. I've worked as a security guard and I fell asleep. So they take pride in their work, and it makes people feel secure, obviously, enough to sleep with their doors open. So that's one thing that I'm like, wow, this is unusual. You could never do this in America. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, but it's very unusual, right? Like, who sleeps with their door open? So just know coming here is safe. Most people feel safe and they take pride in their security. So that's a good thing, but it's very, very unusual, you guys. Wow. Another thing that's unusual that I recognize when coming here is they have a bidet in every bathroom. Now, in America, only rich people have bidets, okay? If you don't know what bidet is, it's supposed to, help you wipe way better when you do, number two. And I'm used to seeing that in like mansions and things like that, but they have it everywhere here. And I love it because when I run out of wipes, I don't have to run to the store to get wipes. I can just use the sprayer, and they're high pressure most of the time. So you can just wash the babies behind there in the bathroom. And it's very convenient, but it's extremely unusual for me coming from the West because, like I said, only rich people have those in America from what I've seen. So yeah, y'all, that is a pro. Just know that that's what they have. But I'm going to get into another unusual thing. Well, I just make this part of number 3 or 4, whatever I'm on. Number 3, they don't have a lot of bathtubs. That's like a luxury here, okay? There's not many bathtubs. Now, maybe if you go out in the suburban areas, it'll be more bathtubs. But in the city, I haven't seen not one bath. Oh, actually, I have seen one bathtub, but that was in a luxury apartment home. So I think he paid maybe $1,000 a month or so or more to live there. So, like I said, it's a luxury. So here there's mostly showers, and then they have the bidet, and then they have the toilet. So yeah, even sometimes a standard toilet is luxury, but I'll get into that later. The next one, because I always lose track of my numbers. They are modest as heck during the day, but at night, everybody is wearing whatever they want to wear, showing skin. So it's very surprising for me because I'm like, why not just have a balance of the two throughout the daytime? But yeah, they're very modest throughout the day. But at night, everybody dresses like they're in a nightclub in the West. So that's unusual for me just because I'm like, it's such a polar opposite of each other. And I don't understand why there isn't like a balance, But that's how they do here, you guys. So at least they have an option of the two. If you don't like the whole modesty thing, like you can go out at night and just wear whatever you want to wear. So it's unusual, but this is their culture. Just know that's what you're walking into coming here. But I do like that they have the night. I do like that they have that environment at night where you can go out and wear whatever it is you want to. So I think when people hear me say that, they think, oh, she likes to dress like a hooker. No, I don't dress like that. I'm very modest for the most part. But if I want to wear something like this throughout the day, I'll be seen as trashy, because I'm showing cleavage and arms, but I feel like this is a nice balance, what I have on, that should be able to be worn throughout the day without the crazy looks, because people are wearing little to nothing throughout the day, and I don't feel like this is distracting from distracting the children, or leading them astray to dress like this and be judged. Like I don't know, it's weird, but at least they have that balance. So that's very unusual to me, but yeah. Another unusual thing, you guys, is the price of cigarettes here. I don't smoke cigarettes, so this doesn't really apply to me. I know a lot of people that do, and the price for cigarettes here is like $1 a pack. And compared to the West, where I've heard someone who lives in Florida, they're paying like $7 a pack. So I'm like, what? Why y'all making it so cheap? You know, compared to like liquor and things like that. Are you trying to? What are you trying to do? You know, it's like when you putting a liquor store on the corner of the hood where people are depressed, and you know it's like bait, you know, to drink that so they can. It's basically, to me, that's like saying kill yourself. But they might not be saying that, y'all. It's probably because of the culture difference. The currency difference. So I don't know. I don't know why cigarettes are dirt cheap. Maybe y'all can let me in on it. But $1 a pack, that's crazy. But yeah, I think it has something to do with the currency difference. But I don't know. I'm not a cigarette smoker, but someone told me like this is odd, and I do think it's odd that that's so cheap compared to liquor, and I mean the weed is cheap too, so I guess it just balances out. I don't know. It's unusual though. The next one, y'all, is they put salt on the side as seasoning. And I didn't understand why, but someone told me like it's for spiritual reasons. But you know, in America, we season everything. Like we put all the seasonings on the chicken, season it up, and then cook it. But I think they do put a little seasoning on it, and then they just put the salt later, or they just put the salt later. It was strange to me coming here, so it would be unusual to you guys too. This is something that was very strange at first. I thought it was like extra salt, but no, they put the salt on the side later. Now the chicken is nice here, but they do put it on the side. So if you like the salt seasoned before, it's kind of strange. It's very strange, but I've heard it's for spiritual reasons, so that's just the culture. But it's very, very unusual for anyone coming from the West. It'll be something you have to adapt to. And you know, like I told you guys, a lot of the seasonings are kind of bland depending on where you go to. Now when we got here, my daughter ate some eggs at City Center, Grand Casino or something. Yeah, I think the name of it is Grand Casino, and they have really good food, like really good pasta. It's nicely seasoned, but the eggs had like no black pepper, no salt, nothing. And my daughter, like, she spit it out. So just know, coming here, the seasoning, the way they season things are way different, and it'll be unusual to you as well. Another thing that is very unusual, but it's actually a really good pro coming here. Now, I don't know if everyone will have the same experience as me, but from what I've experienced with Tanzanians, they are very honest. And I don't know if this is everyone, the majority, I don't know. But I've been in situations where in America, my things would have been stolen, my money would have been snatched, and it wasn't here. So yeah, I've left my phone behind in a grocery store, iPhone 10 now, and I've left it behind in a bank. I've left it behind just random places at least 3 or 4 times. And I don't know, I never usually do that. I'm not a careless person with my electronics, but I think it was meant for me to see like the narrative they told you about people stealing your things when you come here and they're being petty thieves. Now, I'm not going to say they don't exist here, but I haven't experienced that in situations where they could have gotten me for my phone. They could have taken my phone from me, and they could have stolen from me. I've even had a situation where I was walking and I dropped my money, and I thought they were looking at how I was dressed, but the guy was calling me and he was like, "Hey ma'am, you dropped it." And I was like, "Drop what?" And it was a 10,000 CDs. 10,000 CDs is like the biggest bill you can get. Now, I don't know if it has something to do with that crowd of people, but I think that was very honest of them. And I've just been in situations where I've dealt with a lot of honest people. And I've dealt with some negative situations too, but mostly I've dealt with I've experienced a lot of honesty here in this culture from the people, and that is amazing. Like, keep that up, and they're good with me. Now, as far as the price gouging, that's just a hustle that every culture has when they see people coming from a different place. So even during those situations, when I catch them in a lie, they're so embarrassed, because it's that conscience killing them. But, for the most part, I've dealt with very honest people here in Tanzania, and that is a pro. The next thing, y'all, be aware. I'm letting you know to be prepared, okay? In the public bathrooms, there's usually never any toilet paper. There have been places that are considered luxury buildings, like the malls, things like that, where they have toilet paper. But if you're going to like a private establishment or something like that, most of them don't have the toilet paper. They just have the bidet. And I'm terrified to use the bidet in a public bathroom. I love it in a private bathroom. I don't necessarily love it in a public bathroom because I'm a germaphobe. And all I keep thinking is, what if somebody like accidentally touches their bottom when they're washing back there, and then I come behind them and try to spray and do the same thing, and we're spreading germs? That's not clean, necessarily the cleanest type of setup to have in a bathroom. So just be aware, like maybe they just can't afford the toilet paper. Who knows? Maybe people do waste toilet paper, so that's their approach. But if you like toilet paper in a public bathroom, just bring your wipes, bring your tissues when you're going to a public bathroom. But coming from the West, you expect toilet paper in there, some paper towels, something. But they don't usually have that in a public bathroom. They just have the bidets. So bring your own. Next one is they have speed bumps everywhere, like on the highways. And you guys will see my interview that I did with Reggae Flavors. Ricardo mentioned it, that it's speed bumps even on the highway. Now I've noticed the speed bumps on the street, but I didn't know there were speed bumps on the highway as well. And I guess that's why the car seat laws aren't enforced here, because there's no need for car seats if the speed of the traffic is controlled in that type of way. So I think the West should adopt that in their system. But I think people will still speed, still be road rage in America. But yeah, I think that's something the West can adopt from here, because I haven't seen many accidents, and maybe that's the reason why. Now the next one, a lot of people aren't going to be comfortable with me saying this, but I've seen a lot of alcoholics here, and that's surprising to me, considering how strict the culture is. And it's not unusual to me, consider how strict the culture is, actually, because when there's a strict culture, there's so much freedom, that's suppressed. And I believe, like, it's like a child, when you society is like a child. When you tell them don't do this, I think more than likely they're going to do it, so it's just human nature, I believe. So being that it's a strict culture, for most people this would be unusual to see, but it's sad to see. And I think maybe it has something to do with, I don't know why people become alcoholics here, but if it's because it's so strict, I can see why. Because even when people are in a strict have a strict parenting style, usually the kids go buck wild, because they've been holding it in, suppressing it, suppressing their wild side. So I don't know. Maybe that's why, but maybe you guys can let me in on why it's so many alcoholics here, because I've seen a lot of rehab centers. Now, everyone knows America has the highest drug use and alcohol use amongst, most countries, but I'm surprised to see, most people will be surprised to realize that that happens here. I met a lot of guys that have problem with drinking here. I even had a guy approach me. He was the host of an Airbnb, and this guy was drunk when he greeted me, and I was just like, "Sir, like, are you serious?" And he sat on my. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, "Sir, you making me uncomfortable. You have to, please leave." And I should have actually asked for a refund right then and there, but I try to be patient. I try to be patient with black-owned businesses, but I'm starting to learn my lesson, like, that I deserve quality service. And if you're not going to give me that, I'm going to get a refund, and maybe that'll teach you how to approach me next time, But I was surprised to see this is a problem here. Yeah, so that's a sad one. Okay, you guys, so that was 10 unusual things for me that I wasn't expecting here in Tanzania. And I just like to enlighten you guys on the things that you wouldn't expect here and what to look out for when you arrive here, or if you plan on visiting here, living here, whatever. So I hope you guys appreciate this content. Please like, share, and subscribe. One love.